This is Boxing Talk 8576. I want to talk about Jermel Charlo versus Erickson Lubin. This is an intriguing matchup because Erickson Lubin, I seen like three or four of his fights, but he has not had to me, in my opinion, he has not had a step up fight yet. He's just 21 years old. He's a talented fighter against the opposition that he fought against. He was more talented. You can see some things in there that he need to work on, but you can also see the talent. I see the talent. You see the hand speed. You see the angles. You see the boxing ability. You see the power. You see the array of offensive punches that he throws. But he has not had a step up fight. It's hard to judge a fighter, especially when he's that young, if you can't judge him versus somebody who has been battle tested and has some success and that can give him problems, may not can't beat him, but can make him, you know, do things or go to another level that he needs to go to. He have not had that fight, but I like Erickson Lubin, but he has not had the step up fight for me to say that he's gonna beat Jermel Charlo. So Charlo, he's a champion. He has had step up fights, of course. We've seen him perform, against a little bit higher level. And to me, he's 28 years old, so he's in his physical prime, his top of his physical prime. And Erickson Lubin still hasn't come into his physical prime. I think I think 24, 25 is when you really get your man strength. So I don't think he really has his man strength. Maybe I'm wrong, but usually you don't get your man strength to about 24, 25. So he has to be a very special fighter if the physical part you don't have, but you have the mechanics and the technical aspect of boxing down to the point to where you can overcome somebody that's a little bit physically stronger than you, that has really good talent too. Because Jermel Charlo, he's talented. He's a boxer puncher. He can box. He can punch. He showed in the Hatley fight that he can get people up out of there. He showed in the fight before that he can get people up out of there. So he's coming into his power. He was known more as the boxer. His brother was known more as the power. So I like Erickson Lubin, man. I want to pick him so bad. He got to be. If he proved me wrong, he proved me wrong. But I'm gonna have to go with Jermel Charlo on the simple fact of experience, and he's just more of his physical prime. They both, to me, they both have equal talent. It's just one is just more, have been in the ring with better competition, and is a champion. And to me, when you excel as a champion and you reach to that plateau, you get about 10 to 15% more better, in my opinion. He's hungry. Him and his brother, they both are hungry fighters. They come to fight. They're willing to fight anybody so far. So I'm gonna say based on experience and him being in his physical prime, I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to give him the edge. But Lubin, I won't be surprised if he win because he's a talented fighter, but he will have to overcome some things. He will have to show me a different level than what he has shown me so far to win the fight. So it's not always who I want to fight. I'm trying to, you know, have step away from my biases and just say who I think in my mind would pick with my brain rather than your emotional side. You want the guy that you like to win all the time, but that's just not the case. So I'm gonna have to go with Jermel Charlo, man. It's a really good fight, man. I applaud these guys for fighting each other. I'm glad that these guys are starting to fight each other. Erickson Lubin, 21 years old. He could have waited a couple years for this fight. This fight really was a couple years away for him. But he reminded me of another fighter, man, back in the day, Vargas. When Vargas fought Trinidad and De La Hoya when he was a little bit young, and everybody said it was too soon for him. So we'll see how it turns out, man. But in another fight, Jared Hurd is fighting Jared Hurd versus, I think it's if I'm not mistaken, Jared Hurd is fighting I forget his name, man. This is crazy. But he's fighting. So I don't know, man. it's gonna be a pretty good card. So we just have to see how Erickson Lubin pan out. He's from Florida, but it's kind of crazy. Both of these guys got pretty long arms, but Lubin he come in at 5'9", and his arms are longer than the Charlo brothers' arms. His arms is 74 and a half, and Charlo's is 73. So that extra inch and a half could make a difference, but um, it could make a difference because when you have physically when y'all are both have about the same, and technically when you have like the same you know dimensions as far as skills, that reach can can come into play. So we have to see if that extra inch and a half come into play for Lubin. If Lubin can keep the fight in the center of the ring and box, then it can be very intriguing. It can be very intriguing fight, man. If he can keep it in the center of the ring and box, it can be an intriguing fight. So we will have to see what happens with that. We have to see if he can keep it in the center of the ring. And there is, and Lubin is a southpaw, and your boy your boy Jermel Charlo is an orthodox. So they are going to be fighting for position. Both of these guys will be fighting for position in the ring. So we will have to see who gets the footwork down. Lubin has to keep. They both gonna one of them guys. Well, both of those guys are going to be fighting for foot position. You got to keep their foot on the outside of each other's foot. So they both going to be fighting for foot position. So Lubin going to be open for the right hand, and Charlo going to be open for the left hand. So we have to see who's going to be able to land their power punch. But yes, Austin Trout versus Jarrett Hurd. I expect Jarrett Hurd to win the fight. I'm not really that high on Jarrett Hurd, but he should win this fight. I just think Trout. I think Trout Trout had some pretty good fights, man. He beat Cotto, and Trout. Trout. I think he's a gatekeeper for 154 at this point in his career. I don't want to be disrespectful to the man, but I think he's like the gatekeeper to 154-pound division. He lost to Jermel Charlo. He lost to Edison Larry Lara. He lost that fight. So I'm just saying he lost to Alvarez, and that was a competitive fight. But I just think at this point, especially at the top half of the division, and the division is top half, it's top heavy. The 154-pound division is top heavy. And I just think those guys up there, I don't think Trout can beat none of those guys, to be honest with you. So let me know what you think about the Erickson Lubin versus Jermel Charlo fight, and let me know who you picking. This is Boxing Talk 8576. I'm out.